This is the 91st minute. The Premier League and EFL officials announced earlier this week that they will add World Cup-style amounts of injury time to matches as a part of crackdown on time wasting. At the heart of new refereeing guidelines, it will be enforced in full for this coming season. The Premier League last year averaged 55 minutes of the ball being in play, the Championship 52, League One 50, and League Two 48. Interestingly, in the Community Shield, we saw 8 minutes of extra time added on to the end of that game. Manchester City are known for having one of the highest ball in play averages over the season, so 8 minutes on top of that was also interesting. And kind of connected to this, Rafael Varane tweeted. I won't read the entire tweet, but he said that he had a meeting with the FA, and they were talking about the concerns of there being too many games, the schedule is overcrowded, and it's getting to a dangerous level for players' physical and mental well-being. He went on to say that he would like the schedules to be changed so that the players can give their maximum at every week, every game, so the fans see that product. Kind of an open-ended question here. How do we address this? Is this concern by Rafael Varane and the players important to you? What do you think of the new timing rules? Let's start with Rafael Varane and the topic of scheduling and too many games, etc. What are your general thoughts about this? I know we've touched on it in long time ago, but Milo, what are your general thoughts on this one?
I mean, like, I understand where he's coming from, and I mean, I think we should probably preface as well. It wasn't just a meeting between the FA and Varane. It was a group of players, was it not? Like the players,
managers,
association
and players,
or something.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I understand what he's saying. Too many games. I mean, we did talk about this recently, and you were for adding another competition. You know, obviously, if the players are not wanting to see that happen, but I mean, it could be done in a different way, right? You have to use, again, maybe more rules is the answer. You have to use so many of this or so many of that. Like I've talked about that before. There could be a way to make sure you have to use so many youth players or under 21 players or whatever, and certain stipulations they could add to certain competitions to maybe even it out a bit more and make teams bring in youth. It will help the game in the long run because the young players will get exposed to football at a high level. You know, that's where my brain goes on it, and I've been down that road before. I think everyone thinks, oh, that's kind of a good idea. It'll never happen. You know, there's also the mindset, you know, part of me goes, well, you know, it's your job. You know, you just got to do what you got to do. I've got to do what I've got to do at work, and I don't always like it either. There's you know, and you're certainly compensated very well for it. That obviously factors into my mind a little bit on this topic as well. The other thing, I saw somebody respond with, you know, NHL play back-to-back nights and 82 games a season. You know, I don't want to bring in other sports as a comparison, really, because ice hockey played in shifts, burst, you know, 30-second to a 1-minute burst of a shift is far different from a sustained 45 to 90 minutes of running. It definitely is physically demanding, but in a different way, and your muscles are reacting in a different way, and they're tested in a different way, and the recovery is very, very different as well. I mean, we've all played football over the years. You know, I played hockey as well, and the injuries or knocks that I got in ice hockey were pretty superficial thanks to all the padding and everything else. You're pretty well protected unless the puck bounces off you somewhere nasty. Yeah. But you know, I feel like it's hard to make those comparisons, and for Varane or Varane, however you want to say it, I just think this is the modern game. I think you just got to run with it, and if you're not ready to play, you can tell your manager, like, I can't do it. You know, if you feel that strongly, then it's on you to say to your manager, I don't think I can play this game and on Saturday, or whatever it might be, whatever variation of that might be. I mean, it's on you to say, and no players do it, and that's on them, you know. And as far as his comments, I did laugh at one of them. Sorry, obviously I really want to hear your guys' thoughts. I did laugh at one of the comments because one of the first comments under the post was a guy saying, "Have you ever considered not wasting time on the football field to keep the games same length? Because the players waste a lot of fucking time." You know?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here. Hoff, thoughts on Varane comments?
I think that there's just so many games now. In our Discord, I posted a tweet from Nick Miller of The Athletic, and in starting next season, the 24-25 season, expanded Champions League, new Club World Cup formation format. If you had a team do what Liverpool did 2 seasons ago, play the maximum amount of matches, they would be playing 87 games in a season, which is ridiculous. And then Cart gave us some math after. That's a game every 4.19 days with no breaks in a year. If you take a 30-day break, it's every 3.85 days. So around a game every 4 days is crazy within a whole calendar year. Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do we need that many games? I mean, I'll watch whatever's in front of me for the most part, but do we need that many games? I know it's a money thing, like for UEFA, for FIFA, but I feel like with that many games, the quality's got to dip somewhere, and
Right.
someone's not going to be happy about like in the I feel like this comparison, even though it's a different sport, like in NBA with the load management, a family doesn't get to go to a lot of NBA games and they go to see the Lakers come to town, but that's LeBron's night off for load management.
Right.
Like that's not cool. I mean,
Load
I understand
management.
it from his like physical well-being standpoint, but also like why are they playing so much? Back to the football, why are they playing so much that they need to do that? I just think that's way too much.
Yeah. No, I think it can get out of hand. By the way, just earlier comments, extra competition for more teams to play, not necessarily the same players who are already playing a lot of games.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that
No,
fourth.
that's
Anyway,
right. That's fair. That's fair.
just to be clear. So I kind of wrote a couple of things. First off would be obviously decrease the cup matches. In England, we have the Carabao Cup. Obviously, it's always talked about the League Cup. It's always talked about get rid of it, you know, blah, blah, blah. Either get rid of it, reduce the number of games to play it or something, make it an like a, you know, top 6, you know, make all the teams outside the top 6 play. Like, for example, if you're qualified for Europe, you don't have to play all the games or something. I don't know. Reduce the number of games to play the final, to play that competition. I don't know how many rounds it is right now, but some of them were 2-legged, etc. So I think that's one thing. Another thing they could do is either make the Community Shield a proper preseason, like export it out to somewhere like Saudi or something, or give it some sort of advantage. You know, if you win the Community Shield, you get an extra day off in Christmas or something. I don't know. Like give some incentive for this game. Like I know the MLB All-Star game, right? The winner of the MLB All-Star game gets home field. That division or that conference, right? There's American League and National League. That conference gets home field advantage in the World Series, right? That's the kind of like the plus. You know, I believe it's the MLB All-Star game.
That whole sentence you just said
Okay.
made me want to vomit a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm just kidding.
but you know, there has to be some incentive, I think, for this Community Shield or just these games that are slightly not as prestigious. You got to add some, you know, got to add a little bit of something there. And the last one is the most probable, in my opinion, is reduce the size of the league. Reduce the size of the league from either 20 to 18. Germany's down to 18. France just did this last season. They had 4 teams relegated to League 2. And they only promoted 2 teams. So they decreased the size. This was they cited the reasons as being because of the because of COVID, right? They were having trouble with television revenue and stuff like that. But also at the same time, you're reducing the schedule by what is that? Oh my God, 4 games? I want to say four less games in a season.
Mhm.
Is that right? Yeah, 17 times 2. Yeah, 4 less games, which is substantial. Throughout the course of a league. Milo, you probably might remember this, but were there always 20 teams in the first division?
No, I do believe
had
it was
more.
less.
Or they
No,
had
I think,
less
I think
and
it
more?
was. I think it was less at one point, but I just can't see that happening because of the financials involved in the Premier League are just so big
Yeah.
that.
Well, It would be the most, I think it would be in a sporting sense, the fairest way. Obviously, get rid of the Carabao. My first one was get rid of the Carabao Cup, right? If we can't do that,
Yeah.
I think if you can decrease the size, like just 4 games, one, in 5 years, just let everyone know that in 5 years we're going to relegate 4 and we're only going to promote 2. Let them have time to plan it. Let the TV
they've
revenues
talked about growing
change.
it more, not making it less. That's the thing that works
Well,
on the other end.
That's fine, and that's what they're doing with the Champions League, right? By increasing it, and that's the problem
Yeah.
we're talking about. So I'm just talking about the solution to this problem would be something like this, in my opinion.
Again,
if you're
or,
not,
like, like I say, make the Carabao Cup under 21s only.
yeah, sure,
You know?
sure.
Like,
I mean,
like,
that's
like keep it, but make it a completely different thing. But there is also the fact that, and that wouldn't take away from the fact that maybe the teams at the top that are competing in the Champions League and the Premier League, high up the table, there they might not take the Carabao as seriously, and their squad selection might reflect that. That will still filter down in the under 21s, or something like that. Youth players or make it under 21s only. Like, why not? We'd get to see some young players from each teams, and it would then take that away from the
I
guys.
disagree a little bit with that, because that would just, they have competitions for that. They have reserve league, they have under 21. I mean, they already have
do.
stuff like that. So
But it's not very public. Is
exactly,
what I mean.
and the Carabao
You
Cup
know?
would disappear as well. It would just completely,
Yeah,
it would
maybe.
just disappear.
Look, it's an idea that I think I just think it would be a way to. I don't think they're
Or
going to make the
maybe
league smaller
limit the number
anyway.
of over 21 players or something, like to like 3 or
Yeah,
something like the World
exactly,
Cup,
but-
like the U20 World Cup or whatever.
Yeah,
or the Olympics,
And I know
Olympics.
that Bukayo Saka will
Olympics,
play in
yeah.
every game regardless.
Yeah, he
He's
might.
playing everything.
He might. But Ligue 1 literally did it last season, which makes it feel like it's possibly more probable, and I think it will create better competition. Just think about it. You just get rid of Southampton and whoever's who finished last place. I can't even remember. It was so long ago. Who finished last place last season?
Leeds was next to bottom, or sorry, they were 18th.
Early trivia
Who was
question. No.
bottom?
Anyways, the point is there was a team that just wasn't competing, and if you just get rid of that team, who knows? Maybe the 18th place will be not competing as well. But I think I feel like that's a sporting way to slightly decrease the load on the players, and you're not going to get rid of any other competitions. You can have all your other competitions. You just 4 games. Germany's been doing it. Now France is doing it. And by the way, France also, the second league, they did the same thing. The Ligue 2? What?
Well, you'd have to, because otherwise you'd be
Yeah.
piling the fixture congestion more onto the teams below you.
And it'd be
Right,
like
yeah.
the championship.
But I think below that, the third tier is they
Well, they
inflated the
don't
third.
have European games to contend with and
Exactly.
internationals as well. For sure.
Yeah.
It's an idea that would work. I can't see them reducing it.
Right.
There's just too much money involved.
But that's the whole issue in the first place, is that there's just too much. All these, like Carabao Cup, for example, there's just money. It's just money, and they don't want to leave it on the table. Like that. Like this is the issue. Like that's the issue Varane is talking about. There's just too many games. Just too many games.
I had a quick editorial note. MLB, Major League Baseball, hasn't done the All-Star Game winner for about 5 years for World Series home field. Because
It used to be a
as soon
thing.
as
It used
you
to be a
said
thing.
that, I was like,
It used to be a thing. It used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Quick. Let's just attach this to the end. Longer matches, right? These longer matches. This kind of connects to more games, and now we're going to get World Cup extra time. Personally, I love it because it does teams like Newcastle, are going to get screwed, for all their antics last season. Ball in play, massive. I have crazy ideas, shot clock, things like that. Obviously won't happen, but it's the idea that things need to progress and action needs to take place, which is not happening, especially with amazing managers like Pep Guardiola. I'm done. You guys take over from here.
I love it too. I liked it in the World Cup. After Arsenal beat Newcastle at the Emirates last season, I'm extremely happy this is coming to the Premier League. But the only thing is, like everything in the Premier League, I think I said this to you guys in the Discord, whenever anything gets implemented in the Premier League, they find a way to fuck it up for the first season. So they will cock this up, and we will be arguing. I guarantee me and Cart will be arguing about 138th minute equalizer for somebody at some point this season.
Jesus.
And do you know what I mean? Like, I think it has to happen though. Like, make the players more accountable. And this ties back into what Varane said. And that guy jokingly said, "Well, what about the players?" He's got a point. Like, you guys don't want to play 100 long minute matches, then don't waste time. And you all do it. We're not stupid. Like, Varane, I'm sure, is just as guilty as any other player, right? They all do it. And they know they do it. Like, cut it out and you'll play a 90-minute game of football. That simple. That is simple. That is it.
Yeah, the more time the ball's in play, I feel like, the more time the ball's in play, I feel like that's just better for everyone. And I mean, if I was a match going fan, even just watching it on TV, like, I'm paying either for streaming service or a match ticket, I'm paying to watch 90 minutes. I want to see like as much of that 90 minutes of ball in play as I can. Like, I don't like 55 minutes. I didn't realize it was that low. I would have guessed like somewhere in the 60s probably, but that's still over half an hour of time that there is not a ball in play, which is absolutely crazy. And I'm glad that, I guess, coupled with that is the dissent. So it'll be nice to see a crackdown on dissent. It'll be nice to see not 5, 6, 7 players on a team surrounding the ref. I hope that they stick to it. I know that they say that they're planning to do it the whole season. I just hope that they actually do. If your second or third player comes to badger the ref, I hope they get cards the whole season. I hope it happens. I hope they give second yellows and red cards for guys that want to complain about a missed call or some problem that they have with the ref. I hope it happens, because that's my least favorite part of the game, is when guys just surround the ref and complain. I hate seeing that.
Arteta 100% is getting sent off this season.
If you get sent off, you don't have to do post-match press conferences as well now.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
That's some
nice.
interesting
Tactical
stuff there.
sendings off coming up.
There you go.
Only one player, only one coach allowed in that box. I think max two, I think, or something. I can't.
Yeah, they're not allowed to go into the stands either anymore, right? They have to like leave or go to the dressing room, or they're like, go to your room. Subscribe to the 91st Minute here on YouTube and use the links in the description to follow us on all social media platforms.